Welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly. This is where we talk a lot about knitting and some other things the odd time as well. Today I've got a typical knitting podcast style episode for you all. I've got one finished object, a couple of WIPS to update you on, and quite a few acquisitions that I'm very excited about and can't wait to show you all. So let's get started. Let's start with our finished object. You've seen these a couple of times, but we finally finished these socks. So here are my DK Weight vanilla socks by Crazy Sock Lady. I used windswept fibers in Woodsy Boil Up. It is their sock yarn, so I held it double. I did 10 rounds for the ribbing on the cuff, and then I believe I did 30 rounds for the leg, and yeah, and then I just followed typical vanilla sock pattern. I did lose that yarn chicken for this one, so here's the second one. But I think I lost yarn chicken at a really good spot. It was right at the toe. At least it wasn't like halfway down, and also when you're wearing shoes you can't see the toe. But I actually really like the mix matched look. I think it looks really cute, and I just picked up, I didn't have any like DK or fingering that I could hold double that in my stash that matched the main yarn here. So I just went to the yarn store, Yarn Twisters here in Calgary, that is really close to me, and I got some, there we go, Sunday by the Petite Knit Samus Garn, and I got this in the color 9882. And yeah, I just held it double and added a little toe. So I think it looks really good. This is my first time using the Sunday yarn, and it was really nice to work with. I really loved it. And yeah, I think it matches the sock pretty well. It was the closest matching fingering weight yarn that I could find there. And it doesn't have any nylon in it, just because all of the like sock yarn with nylon in it did not match this sock at all. So I figured it's held double. It's just the toe, at least it's not the heel. So we'll see how it holds up. I'm not too sure. This is only my third pair of socks that I've knit, and yeah, I'm not an expert on socks and how they hold up and what kind of fibers are best. I am aware that nylon content is good to have in socks just for the wear of it, but yeah, we'll see if this wears well. I'll keep you all updated. Good news is that these fit my partner perfectly. I did make him try them on quite a few times while knitting them just to see how much longer I had to go. They are an absolute perfect fit. He really loves them. They look great on his feet, and they match a lot of his clothes. He loves wearing these greens and these fall autumnal tones that are very much present in this colorway from Windswept Fibers. So I think he was very pleased with them. I'm very pleased with them. I want to make him much more socks in the future. DK weight only though, because yeah, it's hard with bigger feet to knit fingering weight yarn, for me anyway. I just lose motivation quite quickly. So for the males in my life and anyone with bigger feet, I'll be doing DK weight socks only, I think. And then anyone with smaller feet and most of the women in my life will be fingering weight socks too. I've got a nice cup of green tea with us here today. Hopefully you have a nice drink, snack, or a project with you so you can get comfortable and relax while we talk about our favorite thing, knitting here. This is my only finished object for the episode, but as usual, I forgot to tell you what I'm wearing. You can't even see it with my hair, but this is my ripple crop top in the worsted version by Jessie Made. So here it is. I obviously eliminated the sleeves because once I finished it, tried it on, I just really loved the look of it. So it is quite cropped. It works perfectly. All my pants are kind of like stretchy like this and super high-waisted and flowy, for summer that is, and it works perfectly for these types of outfits. I knit this in Cascade yarn, Pima cotton, and I don't have the color name of it, or the number. It doesn't have a name, but I have talked about this in previous episodes, so if you're very curious, you could look back or put in a comment below and I can look back and see what color it is if you are wanting to try it out. I did love working with this yarn. I feel like it's super silky for cotton, and yeah, I don't know, it feels really nice. I love it, actually. I love working with cotton, and especially Cascade cotton. I'll be using that yarn a whole lot more, I think. So that's all we have, just some plain basic vanilla socks that lost at Yarn Chicken, but that's all right. I love them, he loves them, and all in all, that was a successful project, I would say. So moving on from our one finished object onto WIPS, I think we will start with another pair of socks. I believe I've talked about these briefly in another episode, just saying that I was going to make them. But here are my, I believe it's wildflower and honeycomb, or honeycomb and wildflower, something along those lines, from this Handmade Life. Here are these socks so far. So it's top down. I am doing a shorty version, so I just did the lace repeat once for the leg. In the pattern, I think the leg is more likely up here. It's got this really cute honeycomb style heel, and then the lace pattern continues down the foot. So this is my first time straying away from the vanilla pattern for socks, and I thought this was a good intro because it's just a super simple lace repeat. And yeah, it's really fun. I love these. I'm knitting these. Originally they were for myself, but I realized that Mother's Day is coming up. It's about 2-ish weeks away, and I think my mom would absolutely love these. She's very much knit-worthy. We have the exact same size of feet, and she's a flower farmer, so what better sock to give her than these? And I am using Lichen and Lace sock yarn for this in color Nutmeg. I really love using this yarn. It's beautiful, it's easy to work with, it's just like the perfect sock yarn, I would say, for my very limited experience in knitting socks. I'll call this my perfect sock yarn I found so far. So I really love this. This is all I have done so far. It's about halfway down my foot, so about halfway of the foot to go. It looks really cute. I keep trying it on, and I cannot wait to give these to my mom for Mother's Day. I know she'll absolutely love them, and it's really nice doing shorty socks. I don't really like things going like up my calf too much. I like the ankle socks, and these are absolutely perfect for me and my ankle and foot. This is a perfect height, and I just love this lace detail on here. It is so gorgeous. Oh, and if I didn't say this is by this Handmade Life, I may have said that already. If I didn't. Also, which I forgot to say at the beginning, as usual, everything that I mention here today is linked in the description box below. So if you're curious and want to know more about any of these projects, it's all linked to Ravelry, so go ahead and check those out. There's not much more to say about these other than I'm in love with them, I'm obsessed with them, I can't wait to finish them. I'll definitely be taking some really cute photos of these on my feet before gifting them to my mom, and I'll share them all with you. I'll let you know how she likes them when she receives them on Mother's Day. And I don't think these will be my last pair from this pattern. Super easy, and if you are a vanilla sock knitter and looking to expand into other types of designs for socks, I highly recommend these. Really easy and fun, and I'm obsessed with them. They are gorgeous in my opinion, and now I just want to knit a pair for all of the women in my life because I think they're beautiful. So that is one WIP. My next WIP, I don't think I've shown you in a while, and it's not even here with me, so one second. Wow, I didn't even realize how much I had to show you all because I think the last time I did an episode like this might have been 3-ish weeks ago. So yeah, there's maybe even 4 weeks ago, I don't even know, but there's quite a bit to go through, which is exciting. And yeah, hopefully you all enjoy hearing it. This one I have shown before. This is the Farfa top by the Knit Purl Girl. I'm using, what am I using? Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the colorway Powder. It's fingering weight. So here's my top. I haven't worked on it in a while because, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, I'm working on a test knit right now, so that is my #1 priority. Once that test knit is done, which I'm hoping to finish soon, this will become a main project for me. So here it is. It's scrunched up on some small circular needles, so you can't fully see it, but I did get quite a bit done on the body from the last time I've shown it, which was probably up here. And here is my sleeve, looking super cute. The sleeve, I did the 1 round of increases to create this flare. There is an option to do a second round, so it would go down about here and you would increase further. Now I did try this on when it wasn't on the circulars, and I loved where the sleeve hit my arm. I thought it was really flattering, and I was surprised because when I initially looked at this, I thought for sure I'm going to go with the longer sleeve. So these are on hold. This sleeve is on hold, so I'm still unsure about whether or not to go any further. I think my plan is to do the body fully to exactly where I want it and not do it too cropped, because that's always my problem, because I get way too impatient and I just crop it and then I can't tuck it into things and blah blah blah. So I'm not doing that this time. I'm going to work on the body, get it to the exact length I want, and depending on how much yarn I have left over, I will make the decision about the sleeve length. So yeah, we'll see. There probably won't be a whole lot of progress done on this until maybe for the next couple weeks, because like I said, the test knit, and then also Mother's Day is coming up where I need to finish those socks, and then this. So overall, loving this. It's a great design. It's got keyhole little detail at the back. It will be finished with an applied I-cord at the top here. The sleeves and the bottom hem are finished with a folded hem, so it looks really clean and professional looking. This is raglan style. It's worked short rows at the back while working the keyhole here, so it's higher up at the back. And when I tried this on, it was just like, I couldn't get over how perfect this fit was for me and just how flattering this shape was. I love this neckline of how it's kind of, you know, just like kind of boat neck-like. I really love it. I cannot wait to wear this. And this is my first time using Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. I'm in love with it. The fabric is really gorgeous, I think. And yeah, so I haven't worked with this before, but I always hear from other people on YouTube that this this yarn blocks out beautifully. So I'm very, very much looking forward to when I can block this when it's done. And I'd love to do some like before blocking and after blocking photos to show you how much it blooms and relaxes and just like evens out in the process. I really want to have this done for summer. It's a perfect flowy summer top. Would look really good with the pants I'm wearing. It's almost the exact same beige. Now I'm curious because, and maybe some of you can let me know, because I'm thinking this is showing it pretty true to color from what I see in person to what I'm seeing here on the camera. Now every time I work on this around like my boyfriend or my sister or my mom, they all say that they see pink, like a very slight pink in this, which I love pink, so that's cool. That's great if it is there. I don't see it at all. I wish I could because I love pink. But maybe let me know in the comments if any of you see pink for this Farfa top. Again, this is Knitting for Olive Pure Silk colorway powder. Do you guys see pink? I don't. I'd love to see it because I think that would make it look even prettier. So I'll keep you all up to date on this WIP. I really want it for summer, so I'm hoping once I kind of wrap up a few of these things here that I can really make some good progress on it and hopefully wear it soon. I'm also the type that wears summer clothes in the winter. I just layer it properly. So I would definitely wear this in the fall and winter also. Doesn't bother me. And yeah, you could just wear proper clothes to accessorize with or layer it to stay warm. But definitely a beautiful summer top. Next, we've got our Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teage. I am using, oh, it's stuck on the yarn is stuck on my project zipper bag. Oh, it's so annoying. So, okay, it's attached to my bag now. Here's the hat so far. So I'm using Hedgehog Fibers Iris, which is this beautiful speckled variegated yarn, and I'm pairing it with Tin Silk Mohair by Sandus Garn. And let me get the color here. Here it is. And it is color 5497. Oh, no. Color 4244. And it looks like this. And then the iris on its own looks like this. So paired together, it kind of tones down the purple and brings out more pink. This is really annoying that this is attached. I also will put up a photo of me trying this on because, well, this is on hold now. I needed these needles to work on my Farfa top. I recently got more needles in the size 3.25 millimeters because I found that a lot of my projects are using that and I only had one pair. So now I can put these back on needles and work on multiple things with that same size. So what I need to do is really get some interchangeable needles. I don't have those yet. They are an investment and maybe one day I'll get them, but we'll see. Anyway, so I started this here on DPNs, finished the increases, switched to the circular, and as I was knitting it, I was a bit worried that it was going to be too big. Even here, it looks too big. But I did say that a lot of toques that I buy, maybe I have a big head, but a lot of toques that I buy, they like just seem so tight, and they like squish down my hair, and I find it's the most unflattering look possible for me when my hair's like all squished down, and I hate it so much. So I kind of wanted something a bit looser, a bit bigger, but not like slouchy. So I tried it on once I put the stitches on hold. Here is a photo. And so basically, if you guys aren't familiar, if some of you aren't familiar with this, you knit a whole, oh, there we go, it's free. You knit a whole tube, and then you finish it by decreasing the stitches, closing it in, then you fold it back up into itself. So it's a double layer hat. If you fold it again for a brim around your ears, it's quadruple folded and 4 layers over your ears. So it's a really warm hat. I wanted to try it on just to kind of see, give myself an idea of what the fit was like. I loved it. It wasn't squishing down my hair. It didn't feel too loose. So even though it's really deceiving and looks quite large, it's actually really perfect. And so I'll keep knitting and close it in, and there we go. So I really want to have this long enough so that I can have a brim. Those look best on me. And so far, loving this. If you watched any of my previous episodes, you know how much I am obsessed with this colorway. I love hedgehog fibers so much, and this is my first time using her yarn, but I've been obsessing over her yarn for a little while, and I'm just so happy to be able to use this. Really happy I found this in the store. Yeah, it's just such fun yarn. I'm obsessed with speckled variegated yarn, and hats and accessories are a perfect way to play with that. It makes me so happy every time I look at this, every time I work on it, and I can only imagine that it'll make me really happy every time I get to wear it, which is exactly what we all need if it's cold and depressing at wintertime and we need something cheery. This will be my hat that I throw on. So no rush for this one. And we're heading into summer and we're in spring now. So this is just my project of mindless stockinette stitching or knitting. And yeah, if I get it done for fall, I'll be happy. I was just happy to get this started because I had a real tough time grasping this type of like circular cast on, I forget what they're called. I had a tough time grasping that. And so I'm just happy to have that done and to be done with the increases, and it's an easy project to put down for a long time and to pick up whenever you need to, as it is just stockinette until you get to your desired length. So keep you updated on this beauty here. This is definitely my lowest priority since it is a fall/winter knit. Okay, next, my last WIP, and this is one I'm very excited to talk about. I haven't shown it yet. I've briefly mentioned it, or I briefly showed it in my last episode where I was talking about home patterns. So if you stayed all the way till the end on that one, you may have seen this. If you haven't, then this will be brand new to you. This is a test knit I'm doing for Andrea Vaughn. It's the Helianthus. I always forget what it's called. It's like, oh, okay, anyways, Helianthus or something. And I'll put it up here. It's a really beautiful tank top design with some twisted ribbon there, and it's a perfect spring summer top. I am using Ritual Dyes yarn. It's my first time using Ritual Dyes, and I'm doing using Slate, the Undine collection. It is fingering weight 60/40 organic cotton and linen. It's possibly my favorite color I've ever worked with. Here it is. Just so gorgeous in my opinion. I love it. So I am knitting size B. I did get gauge using 3mm needles. Yes, I did, yeah. And yeah, So I've worked quite a bit. Stand up. So it's going to look and fit like this. I've finished the top straps. I am working on the back right now. So I'm just working the decreases for the back, and then we'll do the straps for the back. Once I'm done the straps and everything's joined, I just have to add this beautiful half twisted rib to the arms and the neck, and then this beauty is done. So what else can I say about this? The fabric is the best thing in the world. It is feeling so summery, and oh, I love this. It's kind of my first time seeing it on like this. I haven't really pulled it up, but I already know I'm going to be wearing this a ton. It'll be a summer staple. And so there are options. This is a really like customizable pattern. There are options to do striping. A lot of testers are doing stripes and doing like contrasting colors for the ribbing. I decided to go with a solid color. Obviously, I'm more of a solid color person. I do like the tonals of hand-dyed yarn, so I really love how this is looking. I did do helical knitting with this for the first time, and if any of you are looking to try helical knitting but are what's the word? I get brain fog a lot, if you guys haven't noticed already, so just bear with me. If you're feeling intimidated by helical knitting, and just the sound of it sounds intimidating, but it was the easiest thing ever. So you're basically I used Knitty Natty's tutorial on helical knitting, and if you just search that in YouTube, I'm sure it'll come up right away. It was really clear by how she explained it. She even goes into detail if you're doing it with ribbing. I wasn't doing it with ribbing, so I just used the first part where you're doing stockinette stitching. It's really easy. You basically like have your 2 strands of yarn. You're working in the round, and every round you're using a different strand of yarn, but it's seamless. You can't even see it. It's just by like slipping stitches and then knitting to 3 stitches before your second yarn, slipping them over, then picking up that yarn, knitting again to 3 stitches before your other yarn, slipping those, then picking up the other one, knitting all around. That's a very vague, simplified version of what helical knitting is. For more detail, please, check out Knitting Natty's version or tutorial. It is great, and I'm sure there's a lot of other great tutorials out there as well. But it's something I will definitely be using in the future when using hand-dyed yarn and making garments. I love how it came out because it's just, there's no big pooling or anything. It just looks really good, I think. There's no like definite lines from when I switched over from a different skein, which I really did not want to happen. And even though like, let's see, the front and back tops are obviously work flat, so you can't do like the helical knitting in that way. But yeah, I don't know, I just really wanted to prevent any harsh lines from switching over from a skein. So that's why I went with helical, and it's looking good. There's this cool like whitish, lighter line in there, which looks really cool because it's like going diagonal across. I really like this color. I haven't, which I've said a million times, but loving this top. The test knit is over by the end of May, or like the 3rd week of May or something like that. I'm hoping to maybe finish this weekend. If not this weekend, definitely by next. And I'll be sure to show you all, of course. And I can't wait to take finished object photos of this because It's just such a rich, beautiful color. And it's a great pattern. It's really clear, and I'll be sure to let you all know when the pattern is out and ready. So far, I recommend it because it's been a really fun knit, and I definitely recommend the Ritual Dyes yarn Undyne, and they're in Portland, Oregon. I really love the logo too, and the little flowers everywhere. I love that. But yeah, this is slate, cotton linen, fingering weight, perfect summer top. I can't wait. And this is a color that I don't have anything of, but as soon as I saw it online, it was one of those like no-brainer moments where you're like, yeah, that's what I'm going with, which is rare because usually I'm debating over a colorway for a long ass time. So that just goes to show how much this color spoke to me. Okay, I think that's enough to say about this test knit here. I'm following it exactly to pattern. I did the exact recommended length, and it's coming just below my, just below my belly button, which is perfect for a lot of the clothing that I wear. So yeah, I'm doing 0 modifications. I'm just doing it exactly to pattern, and I got proper gauge for that size, which was great. Yeah, and this is my first test knit, so I've mentioned before I've been really wanting to test knit. I just think it's so fun to be a part of that process and to kind of see how other designers work, and newer designers and up and coming designers. And yeah, I'm very thankful that I got chosen for this test knit. I'm hoping to do more in the future. I don't know, it's really fun. I was always really intimidated by the idea of test knitting, but you know, as I started knitting more and started posting more videos on here and just connecting with the knitting community more, it seemed like a less daunting task to be a test knitter. And I'm really lucky because I think, you know, like Andrea has been a great designer to test for my first one, and she's made it a really great, easy experience. So I'm hoping to do more in the future for maybe Andrea or for maybe other designers that will have me. I'm really thankful for the opportunity to help out and to test any designs. So that should be done really soon, that top, which I am so excited about. And yeah, I'll share all the photos on here and on Instagram and on Ravelry. And I don't even know if I've mentioned it before, but I am on Instagram. It's _Karlie_Paige_. I had to use a lot of underscores because I guess Karlie Paige was taken or something, but yeah, I'm on there, and I'm only posting knitting stuff most of the time, and I'm trying to do a better job of sharing all of my latest projects, finished projects on there. So, and yeah, my Ravelry is also Karlie Paige, same as this channel. So if you're interested in seeing anything else other than on here, feel free to check those out. That wraps up all of the WIPs. So that leaves us with the acquisitions, which I've got a lot. Yes. I needed quite a few pick-me-ups over the last couple of weeks. Needed to boost my mood, needed to feel a little comforted by yarn. So that's exactly what I did. I'll start with the oldest. Well, I did show you this that I used for the toe of my partner's socks. So I have 3 other balls of this. Obviously, I knew that I didn't need 3 balls to finish a toe of a sock. I just needed 1, but I thought I'm buying 1. I don't really know what to do with 1, and I have some baby knits I need to do soon, so I grabbed 3 and I'm not fully sure what I'm going to be doing with them yet. I'll keep you updated, but yeah, that was one acquisition. The next here is some Ancient Arts yarn. This is the Passion 8 heavy fingering. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and this is Irish linen. This is dyed in Calgary, which is amazing. I've made a top out of Ancient Arts yarn before in Passion 8, so I picked this up, just a really nice neutral base for a sock. I did mention that there's like summer picnic socks by this Handmade Life, and I wanted to make them in blue and cream, so I picked up this as well. So it's a gingham pattern. I thought that this lichen and lace in the colorway pewter, 80/20 superwash merino and nylon. I thought these would look gorgeous together. It wasn't until I got home that I realized that the gingham pattern is used with 3 yarns. I assumed that you would use 2 and do like a full block of this, a full block of this, and then a block with each, using a stitch of this, a stitch of this, a stitch of this, a stitch of this, to like blend the colors for that like classic gingham pattern. Hopefully that made sense, but that's what I was thinking, but it's actually not done that way. I'm wondering if I can do it that way. I have to look at the pattern to see what the stitch counts are for each like block. But basically the pattern calls for 3 yarns, so it's like another darker or lighter color of blue I would need to make the gingham. And I would want to go with a lighter color blue, I think, or darker, I don't know. But if I can get away with just using 2, I will. I have to buy the pattern and read it first. This is what I have planned for these so far. That could change. I could just do a sock with this and a sock with this, but I haven't done any color work that isn't mosaic knitting, so I thought that this would be a good intro to that, being that it's just like blocks and nothing too crazy. So yeah, anyway, got these. Okay, I also picked up some 2 skeins of undyed gathering yarn. It is merino sock base, 85 superwash merino, 15% nylon. And I'm going to dye these up using all of the natural dye that I've made myself from my mom's flower farm. So I've got hollyhock. I have dried flowers. I grind them into a powder form or use them whole dried still. And I use that powder form as a natural dye. So I've got like a black, almost a deep purple, almost black hollyhock powder. I've got a really vibrant marigold powder. I've got onion skin powder. So, and a few more. And if you've seen some of my previous episodes, you've seen some of my dyeing adventures that I've done on fabric with all of those dyes. So my thinking is I really want to dye some sock yarn from my mom's flower farm and knit them into socks, gift them to her and my dad. And I think it'd be really special. They've put a lot of work into the flower farm, and knowing that this fiber was dyed with their flowers and made for them by their daughter, I think they would really love that. I have the proper mordant that I need for natural dyeing already, so it's really cool. It's a mordant that doesn't require any heat. It just needs to soak in the mixture for at least 4 hours. So I typically do like a 24-hour soak. I have to soak these still, but really looking forward to dyeing these. I'm planning on doing like I think a speckled yarn. but I'm not, yeah, it's hard because it'd be cool to fully submerge and get like a tonal out of the marigold or of that purple I have from the hollyhocks too. So I'll keep you updated. Hopefully I can film some of the process. It's really hard for me to do that. I don't know how people do that stuff so well, like making it look so good while they're filming, and I don't know, I get so into it that I forget to film, or I'm like not even in the shot sometimes, and if not, I'll definitely show you what the result is, and I'll take you along for the ride as best as I possibly can. And yeah, maybe next weekend I'll get to putting these in the mordant solution and getting them ready for dyeing and dyeing them. Maybe I can even get them ready this weekend and dye next weekend. So very excited about that project. I think it's just the coolest thing ever to like make my own dye. And like we've picked these flowers and dried them and I've crushed them. There's just so many steps going into it. And I knew I always wanted to do natural dye, but I really didn't want to buy the natural dye. I knew I had enough resources around me that are natural and organic, and I wanted it to be from my home. So I think it's really special, and like it's really grounding working with all of these materials that my mom has spent hours and hours like growing from seed and tending to and then drying after. There's just like so many different steps that will get to these hand-dyed, handmade socks. And I just think it'll be really special and grounding and a beautiful process from start to the end. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Some more sock yarn to show. This is Life in the Long Grass Twist Sock, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And this beautiful colorway here. This was on one of my days early. Really needed to feel a bit better. And this made me feel a bit better. Look at these colors. Just absolutely gorgeous. I love peach tones. I love the yellow and the pink in there and the speckled browns. There's even speckled blue. I can't wait to make these into socks. And I've got another acquisition that'll show at the very end, and I'll be using this yarn with the last acquisition. It'll make sense once I get there. But this is the colorway Hearth by Life in the Long Grass. I've never used this yarn before. I love it. I think it's really beautiful. It's just one of those colorways that make me really happy, and colors that I love to wear. My last yarn acquisition, I know I went a bit crazy. It's okay, I've been knitting a lot. I've been using up lots of yarn. And you know what? This is all I spend my money on, so that's how I justify it. Anyways, some beautiful Noro yarn. I know Noro's having a moment lately. This is what do we got here? Kakegori, and it's 50% cotton, 30% silk, 10% viscose, and 10% polyamide. This has 600 meters. It is a perfect brown in my opinion. It's got lots of specks of orange that are similar to the oranges in here, and you can't fully see it on camera as best as you can in person. But, you know, a lot of the Noro that I've been seeing online is the Noro Madara, which I have a skein of, and I forget what the colorway, it's the purpley one. And it's a thicker yarn, or heavier yarn. This one is DK weight. I've been wanting this yarn for a really long time. And the yarn store Stash in Inglewood in Calgary, if you're in the area, holds a lot of Noro yarn. And like, look at this, look how much there is. It was $55 Canadian, but worth it in my opinion. And so, what are they called? Is it church mouse yarn? Something like that. I'll put the picture up of the pattern. Recently came out with this cute vest slipover in a long version and a cropped version. As soon as I saw that, I pictured this yarn. So I went out and bought it. I'm going to be knitting that in the cropped version, and one skein of this apparently is enough yarn. So I want to cast this on really soon. I think it's going to be so beautiful. It's cotton and silk, so it'll be a perfect summer vest to like what I want this vest for. Is I might even do it more cropped than what they suggest in the pattern, and I want it kind of more form-fitting, and I want to have a slipover for the long maxi dresses and long midi / maxi skirts that I love to wear in the summer. So I think this will just be perfect for that. I think it's really earthy and pulls a lot of colors from, like, with all the specs, there's even like purple and green. So I feel like it would be a really good layering piece where it can complement and match other pieces really well. So yeah, I think this will be one of the things that I cast on sooner rather than later, once I kind of finish some of these WIPs that I've shown today, just because I know that this will be a really cute summer piece. And not only that, it will be fine to wear in the fall and winter as well. Okay, my last acquisition. So I caved and I got 52 weeks of socks. This is the first volume. I thought it was beautiful. I wanted the hardcover, and it is beautiful. I love it. It looks really great in my living room. I love looking at it all the time. There are a lot of beautiful sock patterns in here. I decided I really loved, these ones here. And I would love to start with these, possibly. This is by Tatiana Kulikova. I believe I'm saying it right, who knows? And it is stone. It is cuffed down, which is good because I really wanted to start with a cuff down. I've only done cuff down. Some of these are toe up socks. I'm not quite comfortable with that yet. So I really wanted to start with a cuff down sock. So I might be starting with that, but there are just like the photography in this book and just everything is so beautiful, and I love it. So it made me really happy when I bought it. So I think this will be a great way to introduce me to more intricate sock pattern designs that are out of my comfort zone, out of the vanilla sock category. And I think it'll be good because I've mentioned many times before, I want to do a lot of sock knitting for gifts this year. Birthdays, Christmas, Mother's, Father's Day. And this will be great because it just gives me an opportunity to try some of these sock patterns, especially if they're not fully like my style, but I know there's someone else's. I think I should give it a go, and maybe it'll be a great opportunity to give as a gift. So yeah, that's my last acquisition. I splurged, got the 52 weeks of socks. I think it's really nice, and I'm really happy with the acquisitions I got these past 2-3 weeks. They've definitely made me feel a bit better and feel more motivated to get working on some things. I mentioned many episodes ago, and I'll keep this brief, but I do have chronic pain and migraines. Like I basically got a headache a year ago and it's not gone away. So it's easy to get a little down or unmotivated about crafting or even like things in daily life. So sometimes I just need a little bit of a pick-me-up, and yarn is a good way to do that. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm glad I did. It feels really good to like listen to how you're feeling and honor that and know that sometimes like, yeah, you deserve a little treat. And I felt like I did. And it's definitely, like I said, just given me a bit more inspiration and motivation, both of which I felt like I needed at that time. So I will be working away this weekend on that test knit. I really want to get it done this weekend. I want to do it without getting too tensed up and tight, so I'll do it for as long as I can and take as many breaks as I need, I guess, but hopefully by next week I have that to show you all. And yeah, then I can take some hopefully really nice photos of it and be able to share that all with you. And then after that, we'll get started on those socks for my mom, because 2 weeks is Mother's Day and that'll be here before we all know it. So I'm glad that I kind of planned ahead this time and I'm not rushing to get things done. And then after that, it's Farfa top time. And yeah, I'll just try and get a lot of work on that. I think once I'm done the socks and my test knit and I'm only working on the Farfa top, I'll also cast on for that vest with this yarn. I think that's my plan so far. And then I think that'll be a good amount of WIPS on the go. And will keep me excited by having two garments, 2 garment knitting, 2 knit garment WIPS, whatever. And then if I get bored with those, it's always nice to have a pair of socks to kind of do in between too. Okay, so that's my plan. If you made it this far, thank you. And oh, also, it's Friday today, and I think I'll be posting this on Monday. We'll see. But tomorrow, Saturday, which is the 29th of April, I believe, is local yarn store day. So hopefully some of you have had a chance to go to your local yarn store over the weekend and give them some support and drop in and say hi and show appreciation. It's so nice to be able to support our local yarn stores. I know I definitely try to make my rounds around my local yarn stores and give support to all of them because I love all of them so much, and I like to give support to all of them. So I think I'm going to try and go into Stash tomorrow, which is my favorite yarn store in the city. I'll be going with a friend, and we have plans to go out for dinner afterwards in Inglewood, which is the same neighborhood as Stash. And yeah, we thought we'd kind of check out and see if there's any other yarn we need, which obviously I don't need any more yarn, but if I'm there and it's local yarn store day, I might just pick up 1 skein of sock yarn that could be a potential sock gift. Okay, I'll leave it there. I hope you've all had a great day so far, or have a great day if you're watching this in the morning. And thank you so much for stopping by. Please give it a like if you've enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, or comment down below with any projects that you're currently working on. All of those things really help out my channel. So, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you so much. Hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.